Drop of Blood Part 1. Don't answer your own call. I don't know if I'm alive. And if you're reading this, please don't come near the river behind my house, because something there knows my name. I work night shift at a small call center. Nothing special. Customer complaints, billing issues. The usual. My shift runs from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Dead quiet. Half the office lights off. Just the hum of computers and that low static noise from cheap headsets. It's the kind of job where your thoughts get louder than reality. And that's where it started. The first call came at exactly 3:13 a.m. I remember the time, because nothing good ever happens at that hour. The screen lit up. Incoming call. Unknown number. I sighed and answered. Thank you for calling support. How can I help? Then I froze. Because the voice on the other end was mine. Same tone. Same breathing. Same nervous pause. Don't go home tonight. I laughed at first. Thought it was a prank. Very funny. Who is this? Silence. Whispering intensifies. If you go home, you'll see it in the water. The line cut. I sat there staring at the screen. My reflection on the monitor looked off. Not different. Just delayed. Like it blinked a second too late. Checked the call log. The number wasn't unknown anymore. It was mine. My exact phone number. I told my coworker Jenna. She just rolled her chair over, looked at the screen and frowned. Dude, that's not possible. I know. You're messing with me, right? I shook my head. She leaned closer. Listen, weird stuff happens on night shifts. Just don't overthink it. Then she added something strange. Also, don't answer calls around 3 a.m. And blinked. Why? She hesitated. Just don't. The rest of the shift was quiet. Too quiet. Every sound felt wrong. Chair creaks. Keyboard tapping echoes. At one point, I swear I heard footsteps behind me. But when I turned, no one was there. I got home around 6:30 a.m. My place is small. Old house at the edge of town. Behind it, there's a narrow dirt path leading down to a river. I never paid much attention to it before. But that morning, something felt different. The air was colder. Heavy. Like the house didn't want me there. I tried to sleep. But around noon, my phone rang. Unknown number. I hesitated. Then answered. Hello. Breathing. Low. What? Then my voice again. You came home. My chest tightened. What is this? Who are you? Water dripping sound. Look outside. The call ended. I stood there for a long time. Then slowly walked to the window. The one facing the backyard. Facing the river path. And that's when I saw it. Something standing near the edge of the water. Completely black. No face. Just watching. And blinked. And it was gone. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about the call. About the thing near the water. About my own voice, warning me. When I got back to work, there was a sticky note on my desk. I don't remember putting it there. It only had 3 lines written in messy handwriting. Rules. Don't answer calls after 3:13 am. Look at reflections near water if you hear your voice outside. Do not open the door. I felt my stomach drop. Because I recognized the handwriting. It was mine. Phone rings. The clock turned 3:13 a.m. again. Incoming call. My number. This time. Answered. And immediately regretted it. Why didn't you listen? My voice sounded broken. Like it was drowning. It saw you. The lights flickered. Power hum intensifies. Now it's closer. Behind me. I heard wet footsteps. Inside the office. I slowly turned my head. And standing at the far end of the hallway, dripping water onto the floor, was someone who looked exactly like me. But its face was completely gone. Drop of blood part 2. The reflection doesn't follow. I didn't move. Couldn't. That thing standing at the end of the hallway had my body, my posture, even the way my shoulders slouched when I was tired. But its face, there was nothing there. Just a smooth, wet surface, like skin stretched over emptiness. And water kept dripping from it. Drip, drip, drip. Each drop echoed too loudly in the silent office. "Jenna." My voice came out barely above a whisper. No response. I didn't dare look away from it, because something in my gut told me, if I blinked, it would be closer. The fluorescent lights above flickered, light buzzing. For a split second the hallway went dark. And when the lights came back, moved closer. My heart slammed against my chest. No, 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 no. I pushed my chair back violently, nearly falling. The wheels screeched across the floor. And for the first time, it reacted. Its head tilted, slowly, like it was curious, like it was learning me. Stay away from me. I grabbed the nearest thing I could find, a headset, and threw it. Passed straight through it. Not like a ghost. More like, it wasn't fully there. Like reality itself didn't agree on where it existed. Phone rings. The sound snapped my attention back to my desk. 3:17 a.m. Incoming call. My number. I hesitated, then answered. What do I do? My voice on the other end was panicked, breathing fast. Don't look at it directly. Too late. I already did. Then don't let it see your reflection. What does that even mean? The voice cracked. It uses reflections to get closer. Every time you see it, it learns how to become you. I slowly turned my eyes toward the monitor screen. Black, glossy, reflective. And in it, I saw both of us, me and it, standing much closer behind me than it should have been. I whipped around. Nothing there. You see now, my voice whispered through the phone. It doesn't follow space. It follows perception. My breathing became shallow. What happens if it gets close? Silence. You won't need to ask that question much longer. The call ended. I felt something cold brush against the back of my neck, like damp fingers. Bolted. Straight out of my chair. Out of the cubicle. Toward the exit. The hallway lights flickered as I ran. Footsteps echoing. Behind me. Wet footsteps. Matching mine. No, 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 no. I didn't look back. Couldn't. Because every instinct screamed the same thing. If you look, it gets closer. I reached the main office door and slammed into it, pushing it open. The night air hit me hard. Cold. Heavy. Warm. The parking lot was empty. Dead silent. Except for water sloshing faintly. Froze. There was no water here. No rain. No pipes. Nothing. But the sound was coming from behind me. I slowly turned. The glass door of the office reflected me. And behind me, it was standing right there. Closer than ever. His hand was reaching toward my shoulder. I jumped away from the reflection. And when I looked back at the real space behind me, nothing. It's learning fast. The voice came from my phone. But I hadn't answered anything. The screen was black. No call. You shouldn't have come home. I dropped the phone. Stop it. Just tell me what you want. Silence. Then a different voice. Not mine. Not human. But gurgling. Like someone trying to speak underwater. You left me. My stomach twisted. What? And then, I remembered something. Something I hadn't thought about in years. The river. Behind my house. When I first moved in, my neighbor told me something. Old guy. Always watching from his porch. He said, stay away from that water at night. I laughed it off. Just why? He looked at me for a long time. Then said, people don't just drown there. I didn't understand what he meant back then. But now, standing alone in that empty parking lot, hearing something that sounded like me, but wasn't. Felt it, deep in my chest, like a memory trying to claw its way out. Phone vibrates on ground. I slowly looked down. The screen lit up. Front camera. I was on it, standing there, breathing heavily. But behind me, the thing wasn't faceless anymore. Had a mouth now. Wait, too wide. Stretching unnaturally across where its face should be. And it was smiling. The version of me on the screen started walking, but I wasn't moving. No. I dropped to my knees, staring at the phone. The me on the screen walked toward the camera, heard me, and then spoke. You left me in the water. Everything went cold. I don't. But I did. Somewhere deep down. I did remember. Night. Years ago. Drunk. Laughing. Someone falling into the river. Me. Walking away. You heard me screaming. The voice wasn't angry. That's what made it worse. Sounded hurt. You watched me drown. My vision blurred. I didn't. I thought you got out. The thing on the screen leaned closer. Water dripping from its mouth. You never checked. The screen went black. Behind me. Heard footsteps. Not wet this time. Bragging. I didn't turn around. Couldn't. Now I'm checking on you. Something grabbed my ankle. It's cold. And started pulling. I screamed. As my body slid across the pavement toward the darkness behind the building. Toward something that smelled like rot and river water. And just before I disappeared into the shadows, I saw the glass door again. My reflection was still standing where I dropped the phone, watching me get dragged away. Drop of Blood Part 3. The path behind the house. I don't remember how I got home. That's the first thing you need to understand. 1 second, something was dragging me across the parking lot. Nails scraping concrete. And the next, I was standing in my kitchen. My clothes were soaked. Not with sweat. With water. Cold. Smelling like mud and rot. Like something that had been sitting at the bottom of a river for years. I stumbled back, hitting the counter. What the hell? My voice echoed too loudly in the empty house. Everything looked normal. Same cracked tiles. Same flickering bulb above the sink. Same silence. But something felt off. Like I had walked into a place that looked like my home. But wasn't. Drip, drip. I looked down. Water pooled beneath my feet. Trailing behind me. Like I had been dragged all the way here. No, that's not possible. I ran to the front door. Chain still in place. No signs of entry. Which meant, whatever brought me here, didn't use the door. Soft whisper. You came back. Froze. That voice was inside the house. Who's there? My voice cracked. No answer. Wood creaks. From the hallway. Low. Heavy. Like someone walking barefoot on old floorboards. I grabbed a knife from the kitchen counter. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped it. Show yourself. The footsteps stopped. Right outside my bedroom door. Silence. Knock, knock, knock. 3 slow knocks. My chest tightened. Because something about it felt familiar. Not threatening. Not aggressive. Patient. You never opened the door. The voice whispered from the other side. What? Hello. Backed away. No. I was knocking. Knock, knock, knock. Just like this. My head started spinning. Flashes hitting me. Quick. Broken. Door. Vein. Someone outside. Pounding. Begging. Please help me. I squeezed my eyes shut. Stop. You heard me. The voice grew closer. Not from the door anymore. From inside the room. Opened my eyes. The bedroom door was open. And standing inside was me. But this version looked worse. Skin pale. Is sunken. Hair dripping. And his mouth kept filling with water. Spilling out slowly as he spoke. You walked away. I stumbled back into the wall. I didn't know. I thought you were joking. I thought. He stepped forward. Wet footsteps on wood. You always think it's a joke. The lights flickered. light buzz. And suddenly, I saw something behind him. A reflection. In the mirror on my wall. But it wasn't copying him. The reflection was still standing near the river. Completely still. Watching us. Don't look at reflections near water. The rule. Too late. The version of me in front of me smiled. But in the mirror, the other one didn't. Just stood there. Waiting. You're starting to see it now. My phone vibrated in my pocket. I fumbled to pull it out. Screen crack. Battery low. Incoming call. My number. I answered immediately. Help me. This version of my voice sounded different. Weaker. Like it had been screaming for hours. You're not supposed to be home yet. What do you mean? I just got here. No, you didn't. Froze. What? You never left the parking lot. My heart dropped. I looked around my house. The walls. The floor. The shadows. This isn't your house. Behind me. The wet version of me laughed. Whoa. Broken. He's figuring it out. Turn slowly. Then where am I? The voice on the phone whispered. You're where I drowned. Everything went silent. Heard it. Water moving. Not outside. Inside. The floor beneath my feet shifted. Unstable. I looked down. Tails were gone. Replaced with dark water. I was standing ankle deep in it. No. Started rising. Slowly. The walls began to rot. Paint peeling away. Wood swelling. This is how it felt. The drowned version of me said softly. Cold, heavy, endless. The water reached my knees. I tried to move. But something below the surface grabbed my leg. Hands. Multiple. Pulling. No. Let go of me. I kicked, screamed, clawed at the walls. But they were dissolving. Turning into wet, collapsing wood. You left me here. The water reached my waist. My chest. I couldn't breathe. The thing in front of me stepped closer. Its face inches from mine. So now you stay. The phone screamed in my hand. Static. Distorted voices overlapping. Run. I didn't think. Just moved. I lunged forward. Through the thing. Through the collapsing room. And suddenly, I was back outside. Gasping. Puffing. Lying on wet grass. Behind my house. Right at the entrance of the dirt path. Leading down to the river. The real river. I rolled onto my back, choking on air. What is happening? Water flowing louder. I turned my head slowly. Path was different. Wider. Darker. And lined with something I hadn't noticed before. Objects. Rusty. Shoe. Phone. Broken watch. All covered in dried mud. Like things people had lost. Before they drowned. And at the very end of the path, standing at the edge of the water, was someone I recognized. Jenna. Completely still. Facing the river. Jenna. She didn't move. Don't go home tonight, she whispered. Without turning around. My blood ran cold. You're too late. The water rippled. And something beneath the surface started rising. Drop of blood part 4. The river knows your name. I shouldn't have called her name. The moment I said, Jenna, the air around the river changed. Everything went quiet. Too quiet. Even the water stopped moving. Like it was listening. Jenna didn't turn around. She just stood there. Staring into the river. Completely still. Jenna, what are you doing here? My voice sounded small. We won't. She tilted her head slightly. Not toward me. Toward the water. It's not me. My chest tightened. What? If it turns around? Her voice trembled. Don't look at its face. My heart started racing. Jenna, just come back. Please. Slowly. She started turning. I took a step back. 'Cause the way she moved wasn't human. Too smooth. Too controlled. Like something wearing her. You didn't listen. Her voice glitched. Cutting in and out. Like a broken recording. You came home. You always come back. She stopped halfway. Her face still hidden. It likes that. The water behind her rippled again, this time louder. Deep water movement. I forced myself to look past her. The river. And that's when I saw it. Shapes. Under the surface. Too many. Bodies. Not floating. Standing. Just beneath the water. Looking up. Waiting. I staggered back. No, that's not real. They all said that. Jenna whispered. Her head snapped slightly toward me. Not fully. Just enough for me to see. Her mouth. Too wide. Just like mine. Before they sank. Water bubbling. The surface broke. Hand emerged. Bill. Fallen. Reaching. Then another. And another. Dozens of hands clawed their way out of the river. Gripping the edge. Pulling. I couldn't breathe. They don't leave. Jenna said softly. They wait. For what? She finally turned. And I made the mistake. I looked at her face. There were no eyes. No nose. Just a stretched, hollow surface. With a mouth carved into it. And inside that mouth was water. Moving. Alive. For you. I screamed and stumbled back. Falling onto the dirt path. Behind me. Something shifted. Footsteps in dirt. Turned. The objects lining the path. They weren't still anymore. The shoe twitched. The broken phone vibrated. The watch started ticking. No. Each item slowly turned toward me. Like they were watching. Lost things don't stay lost here. Jenna's voice echoed behind me. They come back. I scrambled to my feet and ran. The path. Toward my house. Heavy breathing. Footsteps pounding dirt. But the path felt longer now. Stretching. Twisting. No matter how fast I ran. The house didn't get closer. Instead. Heard something else. Another set of footsteps. Behind me. Matching mine. I didn't turn. Don't look at reflections. The rule echoed in my head. But then. I saw it. Puddle. Right in front of me. Dark. Reflective. I tried to jump over it. But something pulled me down. Fell. Face inches from the water. And I saw it. Not my reflection. Something else. Standing behind me. Smiling. Found you. Hands grabbed my shoulders. From behind. From below. From everywhere. I screamed. Thrashing. Kicking. And then. Silence. I was inside. My house again. Dry. Clean. Like nothing happened. Collapsed onto the floor. Shaking. This isn't real. This isn't real. Clock ticking. I looked up. 3:13 a.m. Again. No, that's not possible. The same night. Repeating. Phone rings. I didn't want to answer. I knew who it was. But my hand moved anyway. Hello. My voice on the other end sounded calmer this time. To come. You're running out of time. For what? Before you become part of it. My chest tightened. What does that mean? Silence. Look under your bed. The call ended. Sat there. Frozen. Slowly. I turned my head toward my bedroom. The door was open. Dark inside. Don't do it. A faint whisper came from somewhere. Not the phone. Not the house. Something deeper. But I was already standing. Already walking. Each step felt heavier. Floor creaks. I reached the bed. Dropped to my knees. And slowly. Looked underneath. First. Nothing. Just darkness. Something moved. Hand. Reaching out. And then I saw the face. But this one. Wasn't moving. It's open. Skin pale. Lifeless. My dead body. Was lying under my bed. Water pooled around it. And its mouth. Slowly opened. You made it back. My entire body went numb. Because behind me. I heard footsteps again. And this time. They weren't following me. They were already inside. Drop of Blood Part 5. You're already inside. I couldn't breathe. I was still on my knees. Staring under the bed. At my own dead body. It didn't blink. Didn't move. But its mouth was still open. Too wide. Filled with dark water that slowly rippled. Like something inside it was breathing. You made it back. It repeated, this time clearer. My throat went dry. No, no, that's not me. But I knew it was. Every detail. The scar on my chin. The small cut on my eyebrow from years ago. It was me. Rotting. Waiting. Footsteps behind me. Low. Dragging across the floor. I didn't turn around. Couldn't. Because something in my mind finally clicked. The voice on the phone. The warnings. The rules. They weren't trying to scare me. They were trying to delay this. You're already inside. The voice came from behind me. Not the phone. Not the body. Right behind my ear. Cold breath touched my neck. I shut my eyes tight. Please, just stop. Soft chuckle. What? Broken. You still don't understand. The thing behind me moved closer. I could hear the water dripping from it, pooling around my knees. This isn't your house. My eyes snapped open. The room was changing again. The walls warped, peeling, rotting. The floor beneath me softened, like soaked wood. And under the bed, the body was gone. Just water now. Dark. Endless. No. No. I scrambled backward. But my hand sank into the floor. It wasn't solid anymore. It was water. Cold hands grabbed my wrist from below, pulling. You left me here. The voice echoed all around me now. So now you stay with me. I screamed, kicking, trying to pull free. And then, loud bang. Door slams. Everything stopped. The water. The voices. The hands. I was back in my room. Dry. Normal. Panting. Shaking. What just happened? Knocking. 3 slow knocks. From the front door this time. My blood ran cold. Don't open the door. The rule echoed in my head. Knock, knock, knock. I know you're inside. That voice sounded like me. You didn't answer last time either. My legs refused to move. But this time, the knocking stopped. Silence. Door handle slowly turning. I never unlocked it. I swear I didn't. But the lock clicked. The door creaked open. And footsteps entered. Low, wet footsteps. I backed into the corner of my room. No, stay away. The footsteps stopped just outside my door. You really don't remember, do you? My heart was pounding so hard it hurt. What are you talking about? The door slowly opened. And I saw him. Me. But this version was different. Dry. Clean. Normal. Exactly how I looked before all this started. He stepped inside. Almost disappointed. You left me there. I shook my head violently. No, I didn't. I thought you got out. I thought. He cut me off. You heard me drowning. Silence filled the room. You stood on that path. He stepped closer. And you walked away. My chest tightened. I was scared. You were selfish. That hit harder than anything else. And now. He tilted his head slightly. You're splitting. What? He pointed behind me. Turned slowly. A mirror. And in it, I saw 3 versions of myself. Standing in the room. Drenched, faceless, dripping water. 1. Floating beneath dark water. Soapin. Body, memory, and what's left. He said quietly. I felt like my mind was breaking. This isn't real. It is now. The reflection changed. The drowned version of me in the mirror started moving, climbing out of the water. And it's almost complete. The clean version of me grabbed my shoulder. When it finishes, his grip tightened. You won't exist anymore. The room started shaking. Low rumbling sound. Water began seeping through the walls again. Faster this time. You have one chance. I looked at him. Desperate. How? He leaned closer, whispering. Go back to the river. The drowned version in the mirror slammed its hands against the glass. Clack. And don't leave this time. The mirror shattered. Water exploded into the room. Hands burst through the cracks, grabbing, reaching, screaming. And just before everything went dark, I heard one final whisper. Or next time. Something grabbed my face, pulling me under. You won't wake up. Drop of Blood Part 6. 313 never ends. I woke up choking. Water burned in my throat. Or at least it felt like it did. I rolled onto my side, coughing hard. But nothing came out. No water. No blood. Just air. I lay there for a long time, staring at the ceiling, waiting for something to happen. For the walls to rot again. For the water to rise. For him to come back. Nothing. Just silence. It's not over. The thought came without a voice. Not mine. Not his. Something deeper. I forced myself to sit up. Everything looked normal again. Too normal. That's when I saw the clock. 3:13 a.m. Again. My chest tightened. No. No, this isn't possible. Same time. Same moment. Over and over. Time doesn't move here. The realization hit slowly. Like something sinking into cold water. Phone rings. I didn't want to look. Already knew. My number. Course. I answered anyway. What now? Silence. Multiple voices. Oh, mine. Layered. Distorted. You're still here. You never left. You keep choosing wrong. Then tell me what the right choice is. Snap. The voices stopped. Then one answered. Cold. Stop running. The call ended. I sat there, staring at the phone. Stop running. That's what the other version said too. Go back to the river. Don't leave this time. My stomach twisted. No. 'Cause deep down, I knew what that meant. I stood up slowly. This was a loop. Then nothing I did inside the house mattered. Every time I ran, I ended up back here. 3:13. Same moment. Same fear. It wants you here. I whispered to myself. But the river. That's where it started. That's where it ended. Door creaks open. I didn't remember opening it. But the front door was wide open now. The night outside looked darker than before. Heavier. Like the world itself was sinking. Water flowing faintly. I stepped outside. The air hit me cold. Wet. Like standing too close to something that shouldn't exist. And the path. The path was waiting. Wider now. Clearer. Like it wanted me to see it. I took a step forward. Then another. Footsteps on dirt. No resistance this time. No stretching distance. Just a straight path. Leading down to the river. Good. A voice whispered behind me. Stop. Slowly turned. Nothing. But I could feel it. Something walking with me. Not behind. Not ahead. Beside me. Matching every step. Soft breathing. Don't look. The rule echoed in my head. So I didn't. Kept walking. The objects along the path were still there. But now. They looked newer. Phone still glowing. Shoe still clean. A watch. Ticking perfectly. Like they had just been dropped. They just arrived. The voice whispered. My heart sank. How many people? No answer. But I already knew. Too many. I reached the end of the path. The river stood in front of me. Ill. Dark. Waiting. Deep water hum. No hands this time. No movement. Just silence. This is where you left me. The voice said. I stepped closer. The ground near the edge felt soft. Unstable. You stood right here. My feet stopped on their own. And you listened to me drown. My chest tightened. I didn't know. You did. The water rippled. Slowly. I saw it. My reflection. Standing at the edge. Looking down. But I wasn't moving. The reflection was. Watch. Stepped forward. Into the water. And didn't sink. Just stood there. Waiting. It looked up at me. And smiled. Your turn. Something grabbed my ankle. From the river. Pulling. I stumbled forward. Falling to my knees at the edge. No. Wait. Hands broke the surface again. Grabbing. Pulling. Stay this time. The voices echoed all around me. Don't leave again. I clawed at the ground. Trying to hold on. But then. Stop. The words echoed again in my head. Stop running. My grip loosened. What are you doing? The voice sounded confused now. I looked at the water. The reflection. The hands. You want me to stay? I whispered. Silence. Yes. My heart slowed. Fine. Let go. The hands pulled me forward. Cold water swallowed me whole. Deep underwater silence. Everything went dark. Heavy. Endless. I couldn't breathe. My lungs burned. My body thrashed. Instinct kicking in. But I forced myself to stop. To stay still. To feel it. The cold. The pressure. The weight. Just like he did. Seconds passed. Or minutes. Or hours. Time didn't exist here. I felt something in front of me. Face. Close. Too close. It was me. The drowned version. Open. Watching. You stayed. Bubbles escaped my mouth. I couldn't answer. But somehow, it understood. Then take my place. My heart dropped. Before I could react. Grabbed my face. And pushed me deeper. Into something darker. Something below the river. Where the other bodies stood. Watching. Waiting. And as everything faded, I heard one last thing. From above the water. My voice. Breathing. Alive. Drop of Blood Part 7. The one who walked out. I can't feel my body. That's the first thing. Not cold. Not pain. Not pressure. Nothing. I'm standing. But I don't remember standing. I'm breathing. But I don't remember taking a breath. Everything is quiet. Too quiet. Deep underwater hum. Takes me a few seconds to realize. I'm still in the river. But I'm not drowning anymore. I'm standing. Feet planted on something solid beneath the water. And around me. Shapes. People. Dozens of them. Standing just like me. Open. Not moving. Watching. You're one of us now. The voice comes from beside me. Turn slowly. And I see him. The drowned version of me. But something is different now. He's not in front of me. He's not separate anymore. He's fading. Like he's dissolving into the water itself. You stayed. I try to speak. But no sound comes out. I try to move. But my body barely responds. Like I'm not fully in control anymore. That's all it wanted. The water around us shifts. Not waves. Not movement. Something deeper. Like the river itself is alive. Breathing. It needs someone to replace the last one. My mind starts racing. No, that means. You understand now. And then. Hits me. Calls. The warnings. The versions of me trying to stop this. They weren't trying to save me. They were trying to delay the replacement. To avoid becoming this. We all tried to leave. The voice continues. But someone always has to stay. The figures around me twitch slightly. Not moving fully. Just enough to show they're not completely gone. Trap. Where? Forever. Panic rises in my chest. I don't want this. No sound. But the thought echoes anyway. No one does. Above us. Like, faint. The surface of the river. And then. I see something. Silhouette. Standing at the edge. Looking down. My body. Dry. Alive. Breathing. The version that walked out. That's you now. My mind breaks. No. Yes. The fading version of me looks up at the surface. You left. Remember. Letting go. Letting the hands pull me under. Choosing to stay. And something else. Climbing out. Taking my place. The one above. His voice weakens. That's not you anymore. My vision shakes. The surface distorts. I see it clearly now. My body. Standing at the river's edge. Turns slowly. And starts walking away. Like nothing happened. Like it was always him. He'll go back to your house. The last of the drowned version's face fades. He'll answer the calls. Only his eyes remain. And he'll wait. They disappear. For the next one. Silence. The river grows still again. And I'm alone. No, not alone. Can feel them. All around me. The others. Watching. Waiting. Like I am now. Time doesn't pass here. Or maybe it does. I can't tell. But eventually, I see movement above again. Another silhouette. Another person. Standing at the edge. Looking down. Confused. Scared. Just like I was. And then, hear it. Faint. Distant. Phone ringing. From somewhere above the water. 3:13 a.m. The loop continues. The person at the edge takes a step closer. Don't. I try to say. But nothing comes out. I can't warn them. I can't move. I can't leave. And then, something changes. The water around me tightens. Pulls. Not downward. Forward. Toward something deeper. Something below even this. The ground beneath my feet cracks. And the other bodies turn. All at once. Facing the same direction. Toward the dark. It's not finished. Voice echoes. Not mine. Not human. The river begins to open. And something beneath it starts rising. Drop of blood final part. If you hear yourself, don't answer. It's coming from below. Not the river. Not the bodies. Something deeper. The ground beneath us splits open. Slow, wet, stretching like skin tearing apart. Deep cracking sound. The water doesn't rush in. Pulls away. Like something beneath it is breathing. All the bodies around me. Every single one. Turns at the exact same time. Facing down. Waiting. And then. Feel it. Not fear. Not panic. Recognition. This is it. The thought isn't mine. It's ours. The darkness below begins to rise. First. Looks like smoke. Then water. Then something else. Something that doesn't have a shape. But forces one anyway. It stretches upward. Forming something almost human. Almost. Too tall. Too thin. Limbs bending in places they shouldn't. And its face. Isn't a face. It's a reflection. But not of me. Of everyone. Every person in the water. Every face layered on top of each other. Smiling. Screaming. Drowning. The same time. You finally understand. The voice hits all of us at once. Inside our heads. Inside the water. Inside the silence. You were never replacing each other. My thoughts freeze. You were feeding me. Everything stops. The river. The bodies. Even time. Every memory. The thing moves closer. Every guilt. Its surface shifts. Faces twisting into something unbearable. Every moment you chose to walk away. My chest tightens. No. That's what I become. The realization hits harder than anything before. This thing. It isn't just a monster. It's made of us. Every person who ignored the drowning. Every person who chose themselves. Every person who didn't help. You heard him that night. I see it again. The memory. Clear this time. Rain pouring. River rising. Someone in the water. Screaming. Begging. Me. Standing there. Watching. Hesitating. Please help me. I took one step forward. Then stopped. Then turned. And left. That was enough. Entity pulses. Growing larger. One moment of silence. The bodies around me begin to sink slowly. One choice. I feel myself being pulled down again. And you belong to me. No. For the first time. I move. Not my body. My will. I won't stay. The water tightens around me. You already did. I'll fix it. I scream inside my own mind. I'll go back. I'll save him. Entity freezes. Laughs. Sound like drowning lungs trying to breathe. You think time works that way here? The darkness surges upward. Swallowing everything. This isn't where you fix things. Everything goes black. This is where things end. Silence. I wake up. Gasping. Dry. Alive. In my bed. Morning light spilling through the window. Birds outside. Normal. Too normal. I sit up slowly. Heart racing. It was a dream. But my throat hurts. Like I was screaming. I stumble to the bathroom. Turn on the sink. Splash water on my face. Then I look up. A mirror. My reflection stares back. Normal. Relieved, I laugh softly. I'm okay. But then, my reflection doesn't laugh. Just stands there, watching me. And slowly, it raises its hand. But I didn't move mine. My breath stops. No. The reflection leans closer to the glass. And whispers. You never left. The lights flicker. Water dripping. I stumble back. The floor beneath my feet is wet. Again. My phone starts ringing. I don't want to look. But I already know. Already know. Slowly. Pick it up. Incoming call. My number. My hands are shaking. Answer. Hello. Silence. My voice. Blows. Don't go home tonight. My heart drops. What? Then I hear something behind me. Low wet footsteps. Inside the house. Turn. The hallway is dark. But I can see it. Standing there. Dripping. Waiting. And this time. Has my face. Perfect. Smiling. It's your turn to warn him. The phone goes dead. And suddenly. Understand. Calls. The loop. The warnings. They were never meant to save anyone. Just to pass it on. Keep it going. I look back at the mirror. My reflection is gone. Only darkness. And something moving inside it. Watching. Waiting. So if you ever get a call. From your own number. At exactly 3:13 a.m. Don't answer. 'Cause if you do. You won't be talking to yourself. You'll be talking to me. And I won't be asking for help anymore. I'll be asking you. Take my place.